Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Nobody Asked for This podcast. I hope you're all doing great. I'm coming to you, I guess not live. I can never really be live, unless I went on Periscope or something. What happened to Periscope? What is that noise? It was so big for like exactly a week and a half, and then nobody cared. Which honestly, I've thought about it a lot. I would totally be fine with that fate. Like, I would love a 15 minutes. Like, do you know how they're like, oh, everyone's looking for their 15 minutes? I'm looking for my 15th minute, my 15 minutes with no pursuit of a 16th minute. Like, it actually sounds pretty cool to be like, I was so famous for exactly 5 minutes. And then you kind of move on with your life. And then you can still live. You can still go to, like, Target and stuff. No one's hounding you. You're fine. Like, maybe, hopefully it's, like, a viral video that you own the rights to or whatever. So, like, you can still make money off of that. Like, how much money is Charlie Bit My Finger making? It is tax season, so I'm just kind of thinking more numerically. I'm going to Google. How much money is Charlie, like, does Charlie have to work? Does Charlie Bit My Finger make? Because I'm sure it's like at billions of dollars. I guess the video sold. The Charlie Bit My Finger video has generated approximately 1 million, I believe this is pounds. The video was sold as an NFT for $761,000, and the family has stated that they will use the money for their children's university education. Very noble. I feel like they would tell us that regardless, of course, because everyone's wondering. Listen, if the parents are listening, if you have to dip into that money, obviously for the use of the children, no one's judging you, but I love that it's going towards the university education. Although I believe it sounds like they're British, and I believe it's a bit cheaper there to go to school than some other countries. So hopefully, Charlie wants to go for something more of like a basic type of degree, which I'm not clowning on basic degrees as someone with one of the more basic type of degrees, if not the most basic type of degree. But I just kind of know what that costs, and it's not $761,000, thankfully. So hopefully they can pay for that, and then maybe like Charlie can put a down payment on like a nice car or something. I'm really glad we figured this out. Because Charlie did in fact bit my finger. And stuff like that, like, as an attention snob myself, you think I'd be jealous, but no, I'm actually happy for Charlie. I think I'm going to name the episode Happy for Charlie. Oh, I just figured. So is the money that they're saving, is the $761K going to Charlie or the kid who said the line? Because I guess if you're saying Charlie bit my finger, it's your Charlie's brother. So does Charlie's brother get the money or does Charlie get the money? I assume they split it. So now it's like divided by 2. I still don't think university there is $350,000. Excuse me, unless you're going to, like, medical school. Like, maybe that incident was so impactful on the brother that, like, he now wants to get into pediatrics or, like, finger surgery. I do wonder, I'm a hypochondriac, and there was what I thought to be, like, a bump or lump on my hand once. We're totally fine. This was like 15 years ago. Nothing happened with it. But I did wonder, obviously, in my sort of midnight staring at the ceiling, worst case scenario, doomsday thinking, I was like, when they have to operate on my hand, like, do they just put your hand on the operating table? Like, how does that work? You're this huge person with legs and a face, but they just need to operate on your little bitty hand. So, like, where does the hand go in the whole situation? And I think, to answer that question, I watched an episode of Grey's Anatomy where someone had to get their hand operated on, and I believe they kind of just, like, keep on keeping on. Like, they just you're lying down on the table, and instead of operating on your leg, they operate on your hand. Surgery is so wild to me. By the way, welcome to episode number almost 150 of the Nobody Asked This podcast. Back to surgery. The fact that there are humans on planet Earth that their job is to go into work and like cut open other people. One, thank goodness, like someone had to do it, or else we would all probably not be here. But also, like, yikes. Like, isn't that a little bit of, like, a red flag? I don't know. It's just, like, I guess some people are queasy at blood, and some people, you know, their Monday morning office chatter happens while there's just, like, a liver in front of them. And, like, I don't know how to rectify. Like, how do the people who can't even look at a paper cut and the people that are surgeons, like, how do we find common ground between those two? Like, how would they ever have anything in common? Not to be more divisive. We don't need more of that. We need unity. But, like, I don't know how we unite those groups, because it seems like you just have, like, fundamental differences. Not that anyone is asking me to, or, like, asking me to solve this problem. So I've really just kind of walked into this one, but yeah, I don't know. Regardless, I do want to send some love to Charlie Bit My Finger. I also want to send some love to whoever bought the NFT for Charlie Bit My Finger. I don't fully know what an NFT is, and I don't think I ever did, if we're being just, like, completely honest with each other. They were really big a few years ago. I feel like all of the rich people were like, NFT. Because I guess that's, like, the kind of stuff you can spend your money on when you're rich and, like, don't really have to worry about, you know, putting food on the table because your chef does it, which, no hate. I would love to be there. Aren't we all? Is that not the goal, you know? But, yeah, they kind of just disappeared. And I wonder if, like, the value, like, is the 761, are they making more money off of that? Like, was it an investment? Or do they just have, like, a picture, or, like, on their computer have the digital file of Charlie Bit My Finger that they can say that they owned so no one else could? I have so many questions. And, like, no means to get answers for any of these. But, like, top 3 questions of the first 8 minutes of this episode. Question number 1, where's Charlie? Question number 2, what is the actual cost of British University? And question number 3, and then there's a kind of subsection. So question number 3A, what is an NFT? I think I know, but, like, I'm not 100% sure. And then question 3 subset B, was it worth it to buy all of these NFTs? It really does feel like it was like a like, I feel like the rich people were like, oh, here, like, let's see if we can trick people into buying these things. Like, we'll just make them think that it's cool, and then they'll spend their money, and then they'll just have less money to spend elsewhere. I don't know. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but as the episodes go on, I realize, like, that might just be my calling. Can you be a professional conspiracy theorist? Are there, like, positions where you're, like, in a company, like, you know, they have, like, analysts and stuff? Like, can you be, like, okay, officer of analyzation, comma, conspiracy theorists in the creative department? Because here's the thing, you kind of need somebody who thinks, you know, outside the box. Like, a little creativity never hurt somebody, except when Charlie decided that he was going to bite a finger. Like, that was a creative move. Probably hurt the brother's finger, but the brother now gets to do full ride scholarship to whatever university. Oh, I just put this together. If Charlie Bit My Finger and Charlie Bit My Finger's brother would definitely have to stay local if they want to split the 750 or the 781 or whatever it was, because international prices for university is where they get you. That I feel like could easily be, like, if they went out of country, I don't know how the rest of Europe works, but if they came to, like, the States or even Canada, like, they would be paying a much higher rate for university, in which case they would need their whole chunk of change. So I'm going to reverse that kind of financial advice to the parents. Like, maybe hold off on renovating the beach house until we decide, like, what these kids are, the level of intelligence or the level or kind of educational future that they see for themselves. I wonder at which point you know that you're raising a doctor, and is that intimidating? Like, if you know, like, shoot, like, my kid is really smart, are you like, what thought comes to your mind first? Is it, shoot, that sounds like a lot of money in medical school? Is it, I think this kid is smarter than me? Because that's where my head would go. I'd be like, I'm supposed to raise someone who knows better than me in some areas. So, like, how do you, like, assert dominance there? And then 3, I'm going to be so rich in retirement. Like, you kind of also, like, I feel like, do you think you suck up to the kid? Or, like, a little bit nicer, like, if you have multiple kids, like, you would be, like, a little bit, like, give a little extra peanut butter or a little bit of extra, like, blueberries on the plate to the kid who you thought was going to most contribute to your retirement fund? Or, like, who would buy you the house in Florida the soonest? Like, how could you not? I'm obviously not a parent. But, like, I feel like there's got to be people that are like, no, I'm telling you, Stella, she's the one. Make sure she likes us. Stella, do you want 2 scoops of ice cream? You know? And then there's, like, little Marty in the corner who you're like, listen, this kid, sanitation engineer energy, which we need. We need, nothing wrong with that. But, like, you maybe want to, like, make sure that, like, you know, you're on Stella's good side. Because she might be writing the check. Although I'm sure it happens where you think it's one thing. Like, you think, you know, this one kid is going to be a doctor, but then the other kid who you kind of maybe didn't bet on as much becomes, like, a famous writer or something. And then you're like, oh, shoot. I wasted all the extra scoops of almond butter on Stella when Marty was actually the one. And then Marty's mad at you. So not only do you not get as much as you thought Stella was going to give you, you actually get less than maybe Marty would have given you originally if you had just treated everyone equal. So I really think we're just going to keep coming back to treat everybody equal. Isn't that a beautiful thing? They're just everybody equal. I really need to re-up my almond butter supply while we're on the topic. I often think, if I can't sleep, I think, do I like peanut butter better or do I like almond butter better? And I think it depends on, A, what it's for, B, the day of the week, and C, my mood. Like, my opinions, like, when I express an opinion, even if I sound like I'm really strong in that, it's usually, it's kind of loose, you know? Like, I'm very easily swayed, but I think in a healthy way where, like, I'm open to all options, but I'm also a little bit stubborn, so I'm also very confusing. Whatever combo of things had to happen to get me to that place, I'm not exactly sure, but that is where I am, and I can only be honest. Like, that is my truth. You know, people make fun of that saying, and I totally get it. It sounds so, like, new age, like, that's my truth. Like, it just sounds like it's, like, the perfect excuse to lie and be like, no, I didn't lie. I was telling you my truth. But there really is some truth to that. Like, everyone has their own truth. It doesn't mean you're right. Like, it's not, like, objective truth. Like, your feelings are valid, but that doesn't mean they're facts, you know? But it is, like, your truth. So, like, me not knowing if I like almond butter or peanut butter better, like, if I had an answer, that's not a fact. That's not saying one is better than the other, but it's, like, my own truth. Anyway, I don't think I formally opened the show. Thank you for listening to the Nobody Asked for This podcast. I feel like I haven't done a car episode. I'm in the car right now. I haven't done, like, a morning car episode in a while, so that's been nice to kind of get back to my roots. I hope everyone has had the best week. I've had a really good week as well. So I'm hoping that we're all kind of on the same page with that. What's been happening? Let me think. Okay, in the interest of ultimate transparency, the first half of this episode was recorded about 12 hours ago, which is really, it's become quite a pattern. At least it was for a while, but I've been good at doing kind of longer stretches of episodes just because, as you can obviously tell, I'm so busy. Anybody that has a podcast that nobody asked for, that has kept up with it as frequently as I do, as long as I have, not to brag, obviously has tons of time on their hands. But it's about 12 hours later. I've had some time to think. I'm going to be honest, I looked down at the app that I record this on, also known as the Voice Notes app, and I read the words "Happy for Charlie," which is apparently what I titled this episode, and it took me about 6 minutes to realize what I was talking about. And then I realized, okay, Charlie, NFT, and it's all flooded back to me. So I'm ready to go sort of full steam ahead on what I was doing. Now, I have a sad update. Don't worry, the podcast is going nowhere in every sense of the term. But I have long detailed my love for granola and peanut butter on this platform. And unfortunately, I am no longer able to acquire the granola and peanut butter that I so wish to choose to acquire. It's been really rough. It's been tough. I am sort of feeling lost. I'm looking for alternatives that are as good as my home bases. So I just want to be honest and open about that. So if it seems, over the next few weeks that I'm not talking about peanut butter or granola as much, don't worry. I'm still the spokesperson for both of those products. I'm just sort of in a transitional phase. That's what this is. It's a transitional phase, and I'm going to find my next, I should do like a Bachelor type show, but it's only about granola and peanut butter to find the best ones. Because here's the thing, you think all peanut butters are made equal, and they're not really. There's obviously like the obvious, it's like smooth and crunchy. Now, I don't know the point or understand the difference between regular peanut butter and light peanut butter. I've looked into the label, like the labels look almost identical. The only difference is that it says light in blue letters. I also sometimes get confused at the usage of the word natural. Like, what does that mean? I actually really interested. I would love to take not a course, but like do a deep dive into like what the food and drug people are allowed to, like what words you're allowed to use and what words you're not allowed to use. Because I think there are some words like organic, that's like pretty fast and loose with that word. Like I feel like stuff says organic and I'm like, this has chemicals in it. Like if you look at the side, but if it's an organic chemical, does that count? If it's a ionic compound, pentameter, I think pentameter was poetry. My worst two subjects, chemistry and poetry. Can I tell you, I don't know that I've been honest about this yet. I was in a poetry class in, not even high school, like in like college, university. And I did all of the coursework. I handed in everything. It was the semester that everything went online from COVID. So it was like March 2020, which I wish I could blame, but that wasn't the point. Like I just was not good at poetry. I didn't understand. Like I thought we were just going to be like writing riddles. Obviously I now have a lot of respect for the art of poetry and like following the rules and I believe it's called iambic pentameter. I could barely pronounce and or spell the term. So I don't know how I was supposed to understand it, but my grade was so bad that I got to a point where I had to look in the mirror and say, do you think you can pass this class? Because since it was the COVID year, they gave you the option to like just like drop the course, and it would still be on your transcript as like I dropped this course, but they're not going to, but like it wouldn't count as a 0 like in your GPA. Now I've done nothing with my GPA, which was like decent-ish. I was like a decent-ish student. Grade 4, I crushed. I never tried harder than the 4th grade. But that's the problem, is I burnt out by like grade 8. I was like, okay, like I'm done. Like I have exhausted myself to the level of a, TLC reality star. I've put in the work for years and like nothing's coming out of this. So I just felt like I needed a break. And unfortunately, the timing of my break also sort of coincided with the timing of when you're actually supposed to start trying. So my advice to anyone listening is like, conserve your energy. You have to conserve that energy. I did not conserve my energy. I spent it all on the 4th grade, like finger painting, so that by the time I was writing essays in university, I was like starting 3 hours before they were due. Now, in my defense, I always got it done. I always did my homework. I never not did my homework. I was very good about that. But like quality, quantity. Oh, something else terrible happened. My laptop decided that it hated me about a week ago. And we're kind of in a standoff because here's the thing. I know it's not broken. I didn't sit on it. I didn't drop it this time. I've dropped it before, obviously. Who hasn't? But like, I don't know who, what, why, where, when, but it just decided one day to work, and then I shut it, went to bed, woke up the next day, went to use it, and it decided it didn't want to work anymore. Now, ironically enough, that was similar to me between grades 4 and 5. Like, I just decided I was done. So maybe it's supposed to be like a metaphor that I'm not getting. But every once in a while, the logo, do you know how like to know your laptop is on, like it'll show you the logo like lit up? Every once in a while, that logo will light up and I'm like, no, there is life here. Like there's something here. We can't be the only ones in the universe. Like there's something here. There's signs of life from this laptop. And then nothing happens. So I don't know if I have to go to the Genius Bar. It's also, to be honest, a laptop from about 10 years ago. So it's like, am I really going to put money into fixing this laptop or just buy a new laptop? And then it's like, do I even need a laptop? I definitely want a laptop. If for nothing else than the ASMR factor of the clicking of the keys. But like, I'm not in school at the moment. I have like, obviously like a work computer, so that's separate. But like, this is more so my personal, like while I'm eating my yogurt, peanut butter, granola parfaits, like just having something to watch. So it's been quite stressful. And while we're at it, while I'm complaining, I have a bit of like a toothache. I'm not like a toothache person, so I don't know why this is now suddenly happening to me. Like, what the heck? I'm falling apart at the seams. I'm falling apart at the gums. Like the top right, I'm like out. Like it feels like, I don't know. I don't have to go in detail describing my dental problems, but like I've always made fun of gingivitis. This might be my karma for that. Maybe it's coming back around. I knew it was going to happen one day. I freaking knew it. Also, speaking of words I can't spell, gingivitis. I can't even Google to see if I have it. WebMD. I wonder what the most misspelled word of all time is. I'm going to Google that. Let's see. Most misspelled word of all time. The word publicly. No, so, oh my gosh, I can't read. I do have an English degree. The word publicly, no, that's right, is widely considered the most misspelled word in English. That is really embarrassing for us. This is likely due to the exception it makes to the common rule for words ending in IC, which should add ALLY. Oh, I see. Literally, I see. I guess the word publicly, you would think you would spell it PUBLICALLY, but you take out that A and L and it's just the word public and then LY. Okay. That's fair. I don't judge. And this is just from Google. I believe I don't know where I'm reading from, but I'm not doing plagiarism. This sentence is not mine. It says, other frequently misspelled words include separate, fair. I definitely am guilty of that. Definitely, put me down for that one. Mankind is not a word I spell, but if I did, I mean, it's just man and kind. So is it considered improper spelling if you spell it MAN space KIND? And embarrass. Huh. I'm looking. Everyone, do me a favor. Google the word embarrassed, because it's not what you think it is. Embarrass. Embarrass. Yeah, I mean, that definitely looks wrong, but sounds right. Like, I don't know how else I would spell it. I also am very guilty of when I'm handwriting something. Like, I don't always check, but I'll just look at a word and be like, oh, that's definitely spelled wrong. And that's a lot of these words that they're listing here. So it's actually, maybe it just looks wrong to me. Like, maybe I don't have the right brain to see stuff and know that it's wrong. Like, maybe my wrong and right identification system is off, but I'm actually spelling the words right. Other commonly misspelled words: receive, absolute. I can't spell recipe, like, to this day. And accommodate. I feel like accommodate I can do. This is fun. I wonder where they get their data from. Maybe they survey 100 people and the top 7 answers are on the board. Regardless, I feel comfortable in my inability to spell. I think, like, maybe it's something I'll work on one day, but for now, like, I have other flaws that I think I should fix. And that's the thing, guys. Like, you have to take it one day at a time. If anything I've learned from doing this podcast is that, one, everyone should just click record on the voice notes app. It's wild, the things that come out. Like, even if you're never going to, like, put it anywhere, which I should probably fall into that category of people, like, just see what happens. Like, you'll be saying stuff that you'll just be, it's revolutionary, truly. Not to the rest of the world, but to you. To be like, oh, that was in there the whole time? Wow. Positive and negative, let me tell you. But, where was I going with that? Oh, I've learned some flaws. And I'm going to add not being able to spell, like, more to the bottom of the list. But it's on there. What else? I'm coming to you live from my process of cooking dinner, which is I'm making, it's like a couscous farro situation. And I'm just waiting for those. They're called, what are they called? Like wheat berries. I'm just waiting for my wheat berries to boil correctly. They're actually taking their sweet time. I don't know. I feel like maybe I should have just put them in the rice cooker. But they taste delicious. I recommend them. Everyone try wheat berries. Wheat berries in a rice cooker. Let's see what happens. Does a rice cooker take... Is it faster? Or, like, it's just boiled water, no? Like, you can make pasta in a rice cooker. Some hearty grains like wheat berries, spelt, and kamut can take up to 75 minutes to cook. Well, shoot. I'm going to be eating at midnight. Love that. Soak the wheat berries for 1 hour in water. Definitely didn't do that. Okay, well. Listen, we're all learning. I also feel like I just like the taste of the wheat berries. I tried them at a restaurant and I thought, let me do this. But it's apparently like a healthier grain. I feel like I think it's a sham. I don't know. Anytime something's like the healthier version of something, yeah, it's a healthier version until you wait 2 years and then some study comes out and it says that, oh, actually, you know what? Brown rice is worse for you than, white rice or jasmine rice. I don't know that to be the case. I've never actually read a full article that said that, but, like, I know for a while in my head, I'm a good baseline for, like, what does the average person think, because I don't really look into a lot. So in my head, like, brown rice was so much healthier, and I Googled it, and apparently it's not. So, like, who told me that? I guess whoever makes money off of if I bought brown rice, but they got me. Regardless, I don't know why I started talking about rice, but I am going to go. But not before I thank you for listening to this episode of the Nobody Asked For This podcast. I really do appreciate it. If you like what you heard, you can go to podcastnobodyaskforthis.podbean.com. You can also find on there, that website, all of the episodes. You can listen straight on there. You can find the links to our Apple, Spotify, Samsung Podcasts, Google Podcasts. I would say iHeartRadio, but that sounds like too fancy for us. like if you have to pay to be on the platform, don't worry, I haven't made it that far yet. But regardless, I hope everyone is enjoying the start of spring. I don't think I talked about the seasons at all this episode. That's a first. But yeah, I will talk to you next week. Thank you for listening. Bye.